Let's dive into a story that's been echoing for millennia, Atlantis. This is a legend that has fascinated explorers, scholars, and dreamers for centuries, sparking countless theories and expeditions. It all starts with Plato, the Greek philosopher who around 360 BC wrote about a lost island civilization in his dialogues, Timaeus and Critias. These texts are the only primary sources for the Atlantis story, and they've inspired endless debate. Plato didn't just mention Atlantis, he described it as a superpower beyond the Pillars of Hercules with advanced engineering, immense wealth, and a military that could rival any in the ancient world. Its location, supposedly past the Strait of Gibraltar, has led to wild speculation about where it could have been. The city was a marvel, concentric rings of land and water, grand canals and buildings covered in precious metals. Imagine a place where architecture and nature blended seamlessly, a utopia built on innovation and beauty. Its people, said to be descendants of Poseidon, lived in a utopia, until greed and ambition took over. Their society, once harmonious, began to crumble from within. The Atlanteans, once noble, became arrogant and tried to conquer Athens. Their quest for power marked the beginning of their downfall. The gods punished them. In a single day and night, Atlantis was swallowed by the sea. Earthquakes, floods, total destruction. The mighty city vanished beneath the waves, lost to history. One moment a superpower, the next gone without a trace. The suddenness of Atlantis' disappearance only adds to its mystique. But was Plato recounting history or spinning a cautionary tale? Was Atlantis a real place, or a metaphor for human hubris? He claimed the story came from an Egyptian priest, passed down to Solon, then to him, a long game of telephone. Each retelling may have added new layers of myth and meaning. Scholars have debated for centuries, was Atlantis real, or an allegory about the dangers of corruption and unchecked ambition? Some search for ruins, others search for meaning. The mystery is why we're still talking about it today. Atlantis continues to inspire books, movies, and even scientific expeditions. Atlantis is either the greatest lost city, or the greatest philosophical parable ever told. Its legend bridges the gap between history and imagination, and that's the hook that keeps us searching. The possibility that somewhere beneath the waves, the truth still waits to be discovered. The legend is just too good to let go. Atlantis endures not just as a lost city, but as a symbol of our endless curiosity and the stories that shape our world. Why does Atlantis still fascinate us thousands of years after Plato first wrote about it? What is it about this lost city that keeps our imaginations running wild generation after generation? It's the ultimate lost golden age, a paradise wiped out in an instant, leaving behind only questions and legends. The idea of a perfect world suddenly destroyed tugs at something deep within us. The thought that humanity once reached a peak of wisdom and technology, only to lose it all, is simply irresistible. It makes us wonder, could we be next? Or could we learn from their mistakes? Atlantis is the world's biggest cold case, a vanished civilization, a mystery at the bottom of the sea, waiting to be solved. Every new clue or theory sparks hope that we might finally uncover the truth. We're drawn to fill in the blanks, to imagine what secrets might be waiting to be rediscovered. The unknown is a powerful magnet, pulling us deeper into the story. For some, the real treasure isn't gold, but lost knowledge, advanced science, medicine, or even the secret to peace. The hope that Atlantis held answers to questions we still ask today is endlessly appealing. The fantasy that all our problems could be solved by unlocking Atlantis' wisdom is powerful. It's a dream of a shortcut to a better world, if only we could find it. And let's face it, the story is just cool. Gods, futuristic cities, epic battles, and a dramatic end. It's the ultimate adventure, blending myth and mystery in a way that never gets old. Hollywood loves it, and so do we. Atlantis is the perfect backdrop for epic tales and blockbuster movies. Atlantis has become shorthand for any lost world, inspiring countless stories, myths, and creative works across the globe. It's been remixed so often it almost feels real, woven into our culture, our art, and our dreams. The legend is a cultural influencer, setting the trend for every lost city myth that followed. Atlantis is the blueprint for the ultimate mystery. Atlantis is a story big enough to get lost in, and that's why we keep coming back. It's a place where history, fantasy, and hope collide. The search is as much about us as it is about the city itself. In chasing Atlantis, we're really searching for meaning, for wonder, and for a glimpse of what might be possible. Once Plato told his tale, the world was never quite the same. His story of a lost civilization, swallowed by the sea, captured imaginations for generations to come. The hunt for Atlantis began almost immediately, inspiring adventurers, scholars, and dreamers alike to search for clues in every corner of the world. Early on, people took him seriously. Atlantis was considered history, not just a myth. Academics pored over ancient texts, convinced the city was real and waiting to be found. But as centuries passed, the story faded into legend, only to roar back to life during the Age of Discovery, when the world was hungry for new mysteries. Explorers like Columbus, sailing beyond the Pillars of Hercules, wondered if Atlantis was out there, just beyond the horizon, waiting to be rediscovered. The Americas, with their mysterious ancient ruins and lost cities, fueled wild theories. Maybe the Aztecs or Mayans were actually descendants of Atlanteans. In the 19th century, the obsession exploded, thanks to Ignatius Donnelly's bestseller, which reignited the world's fascination with the lost city. Donnelly's book was a sensation, sparking debates and wild speculation everywhere. Donnelly claimed Atlantis was the source of all ancient civilizations, connecting everything from Egypt to Mesoamerica, weaving a web of global mystery. His ideas sparked a frenzy. Atlantis was placed everywhere: the Atlantic, Mediterranean, North Sea, even Sweden. No place was off limits. Every new ruin or seafloor oddity became a candidate, and every discovery brought new hope and new controversy. The search became a global free-for-all, mixing science with wild speculation, and turning Atlantis into a battleground of ideas. Finding Atlantis was no longer just about discovery, it was about proving your own theory and outsmarting the competition. The legend grew, fueled by ambition, imagination, and the thrill of the unknown. Atlantis became a symbol of humanity's endless curiosity, and the hunt only got messier from there, as each new generation added its own twist to the mystery. If you want a theory with real evidence, look at Santorini, ancient Thera. Around 3,600 years ago, Thera's Minoan civilization was wiped out by a massive volcanic eruption. The island collapsed into the sea, triggering tsunamis and chaos across the region. The parallels to Atlantis are striking: an advanced island society, destroyed in a cataclysm, vanishing beneath the waves. The timing and location don't match Plato exactly, but oral tradition can twist details over centuries. Archaeologists have uncovered Minoan ruins preserved in ash, revealing a sophisticated seafaring culture. No welcome to Atlantis sign, but it's the closest real-world match we have. For many, Thera is Atlantis, history's lost city found in the dirt and ash. Beyond mainstream theories, Atlantis hunters have looked everywhere, from the Bahamas to Antarctica. In the 1960s, psychic Edgar Cayce predicted Atlantis would be found near Bimini, and soon after, divers discovered the Bimini Road, strange stone formations under the sea. Some claimed it was Atlantean architecture, but geologists say it's just natural beach rock. Theories only got wilder. Some believe Atlantis is buried under Antarctic ice thanks to Earth crust displacement. This idea isn't supported by science, continents don't shift overnight, but it's a compelling story. The appeal? If Atlantis is under 2 miles of ice, it's impossible to prove or disprove. From Caribbean waters to polar ice, the search shows the only limit is human imagination. Atlantis inspires both skepticism and ambition. The legend thrives on the edge of possibility, and that's why the hunt never ends. The search for Atlantis has drawn a wild cast: scientists, adventurers, mystics, and storytellers. Archaeologists and geologists dig for evidence, mapping ruins and analyzing sediments. Adventurers dive into the unknown, chasing legends with passion, even when the evidence is thin. Mystics like Edgar Cayce and Madame Blavatsky claim spiritual connections to Atlantis, shaping New Age beliefs. And then there are the filmmakers, blending science and speculation to keep the legend alive for new generations. Each group brings something unique, fueling the ongoing obsession. Atlantis is a big tent, there's room for everyone in the search. After all the searching, what's the truth about Atlantis? There's no hard evidence. No ruins, no artifacts, nothing that proves Plato's Atlantis existed. Most historians believe Plato invented Atlantis as an allegory, a warning about hubris and corruption. He used the story to teach, not to record history. But maybe there's a kernel of truth. Real disasters like Thera's eruption could have inspired the legend. Plato may have taken a real catastrophe and spun it into a grand philosophical tale. In the end, Atlantis is less about a place and more about what it inspires in us. It drives curiosity, exploration, and big questions about civilization and progress. Whether myth or memory, Atlantis is a permanent fixture in our imagination. Will we ever find a sunken city with concentric rings? Probably not, but will we ever stop looking? Doubtful. The mystery is just too good to let go.